everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Dima Otutu and I create content here on YouTube. I mostly talk about personal finance and self-development. If that sounds interesting to you, why don't you click on the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed, and also give this video a thumbs up if you end up enjoying it. This is the episode 2 of my reaction video when it comes to finding young people who have actually done so well for themselves. I started it and I did the first one, which I think people liked, and I thought, I have to continue this. Like I mentioned in the last video, videos like this actually motivate me, and I've noticed that a lot of young people too are looking for, ways to make it, and probably also even motivation because people are trying. A lot of people are tired, they just want to make it. So videos like this, when we see videos like this, it inspires me, it inspires a lot of people. So I thought to share it with you guys as well. So in this particular video, I haven't watched it before, but I know that it is on CNBC Make It, and a young person, is living on $515,000 a year in California. Let's see what the person has for us today.
I didn't like the thought of putting money aside that I couldn't touch. I wanted to be able to invest everything and have it be tangible. But through the advice of my siblings and my CPA, I do contribute about $1,500 a month to my self-directed IRA.
In as much as I love investing, I also do not 100% leave everything I have in the market because anything can happen and you might need money for an emergency or money to pay bills and all of that. So whenever I try to tell people about finance, I always make sure to ask, do you have emergency fund? Do you have a little savings that, if you need something quickly, you can go there and take the money? Yes, I love investing. I invest a lot, most of my money, but I always make sure that, I put in money into a savings account or an emergency fund that I would need, that won't probably have to make me go and sell off my investment just to solve an issue. Most times it's always good to have something by the side because if everything is in the market and then you need money urgently, it can make you go and sell off the investment that is not mature to sell off. So I like the fact that he said that his siblings advised him to contribute, about 1,500 to self-directed IRA, which I think is really great.
Which I am able to invest and still have control over.
He is 25 years old and he's living on $515,000. I'm 26. What? This is really inspiring. This is super inspiring. I don't know who is watching this, but do not give up on yourself. Honestly, this is really inspiring. He's 25 years old. Let's see what his story has to say.
My name is Sahil Mehta. I'm 25 years old. I make around $515,000 a year, and I live in Berkeley, California. Okay. I work as an executive assistant for Herman Chan at Golden Gate Sotheby.
The kind of work you do actually matters a lot. I keep saying this. The kind of career path you choose also determines a lot when it comes to your financial gains and all of that. Here he's a real estate developer, and for you to make a lot of money as a real estate developer, you have to be very good at what you're doing, which is really good. But I do not think that it's only real estate that gives him this $515,000. But let's keep watching.
And my day-to-day really can be largely unpredictable. I make a commission on every deal that we close, and fortunately, the real estate market here in the San Francisco Bay Area has not slowed down. It has only increased year over year since I've started, and a lot of it has to do with market timing.
He and his brother, they have 4.9 million in real estate investment. I can tell you for a fact that these people should maybe started really young for them to have such an amount of money in real estate investment. Starting young is really important, like really, really important. If you're someone that maybe you're well over 20 or 25 or 30, whatever it is, you're still not late. Honestly, you're still not late. You're still really early, so do not give up. But if you know someone that is still pretty young, that is way younger than you can always encourage the person to start off early. When you start early, you have the opportunity to make mistakes and correct them, as opposed to someone who is maybe in their late 40s or 50s or 60s.
So I was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. My dad was a practicing physician, and my mom was a business owner. My family sort of lost a lot of what they worked so hard to earn in the market crash of 2000 and 2008. And so at an early age, I learned the importance of managing money and managing risk, which really accelerated my timeline. I had different side hustles and
So yeah, he's talking about managing risk and investment, which is really great because his family, I think, lost a lot of money in one of the market crash. I have a video on this channel where I talked about portfolio and risk management. This is truly important because a lot of people actually in the market, yes, oh, the market is growing, but you're not taking out profit. You're not making so much from it. Yes, it's good to invest both for the long term and the short term, but you need to have a strategy where you also take out profit just in case market goes down. You can always buy it cheaper, go back into the market. Remember to always take profits as an investor.
middle school. I was selling snacks in between classes, which really created a sense of urgency for me to be able to learn about financial freedom and being able to provide that to my parents as quickly as.
So you can see here that when he was in school, he was selling snacks, which is a passive income. I always tell people passive incomes are great. No matter what it is, do not be shy about whatever that puts food on your table. As long as it's very decent and very legal, carry it with your chest. Don't let anybody make you feel ashamed of what provides money for you. Any extra income, be it $1, is way better than $0.
As possible, so I could, leave them from the pressures that they were putting on themselves to support us. That forced me to learn about money and managing. Our parents never wanted us to be stressed or pressured, but inadvertently, us seeing like what they were doing to provide for us was a lot of pressure, and it always created a sense of urgency in me. I don't pay any rent right now. I live in a building that I own, and I try to keep it that way.
So you see, real estate is something that I would always advise people to, look into. Maybe you don't even own the property, but just get into it. Maybe you have a home a house that you're not using. You can rent it out as an Airbnb. One thing is, like, most times real estate, the market always goes up. People will look for house. People would want to build houses, buy houses. Sorry, my eyes is switching. I have something in my eye, I think. So that is just it. So now we're going to look at his budget here. We can see here that his food, he spends 700 a month.
Elon Musk, like to many.
700 a month on food. I do not spend that amount of money on food. I live in Berlin and we use euros. I spend around maybe like 250, 300 or 200 depending on how I want to flex that month. And then for travel, I mostly travel maybe once in maybe 3 or 4 months, which my travel we try to budget maybe like 400, 500 euros because we are in EU, and it's usually cheaper to travel within the EU countries, unless maybe I'm living outside Europe. Then I have to really really budget heavily for it. And then another one too is his transportation, $1745. I'm guessing that he has a car. I think he has a car because the entrance of the movie, of the video, he was driving a car. I do not own a car. What I spend monthly on transport is like, worst case scenario, 80 euros. That is if I make use of Uber that month. If not, I think probably maybe like 20, 30 euros a month because I work from home. I mostly don't go out. And then for discretionary, I think may probably be his subscriptions and all of that, which I think his budget is way above mine. His savings is $10,000, which is really great. I'm happy that he really saves and not just put all his investments in the market.
He is like a pretty big role model to me. I ended up buying Tesla Model X. It was my dream car, and I just feel so fortunate to be able to buy it, but then also just use it at the end of last year. I found out that there was a way that I could buy the car and write off the entire amount if it weighed more than a certain amount. And so I discovered that the Model X qualified. So there are definitely moments where I will splurge on, looking good and eating good because
We only have one life to live. I always try to remind myself that you only live once. In as much as we are working hard trying to make ends meet, it's always great to also take care of yourself. Because if you're doing all the hard work and keeping the money in the bank, investing, and you're not taking care of yourself, when your next of kin will spend your money without looking back how you suffered to make the money. I also splurge. Like this room I'm inside, I'm living in. I was the one that decorated. I wanted a very nice room. I have really worked hard for myself, so I felt, oh, I deserve to give myself a very nice room. In as much as everything is budgeted, but I try to, splurge sometimes. It even encourages you to work harder. Like if you want the good things of life, you work harder to get them. So I always advise people work hard and also enjoy the money you're working for. All right.
I have a membership at Equinox. Sometimes I don't make the best use out of it, and I know and it looks that way, but I do try to go to the gym.
Health is wealth. That's impressive. So you see, that's one thing about saving. Whenever you're saving, always have like a target for that saving. Whenever I'm saving, I'm always saving towards something. Am I saving towards a house? Am I saving towards getting a car? Am I saving towards upgrading one thing or the other? You can see here that he saves 80, he has 84,000 in his savings, and once he saves enough, he buys another house. So when you're saving, have a target. Oh, I'm going to save this amount of money because I'm going to purchase this. This will give you a clearer vision. This will give you, a foresight of what you want to achieve. I don't know if that makes sense.
So the goal is to try to save as much as possible, and sometimes, it turns out to be very little just because of the natural expenses that come with property management and property improvement that we do. Prior to owning the real estate investments, I probably was saving upwards of 99% of what I was making. That is largely what led to being able to buy and invest in real estate so early on, is because I was able to save like a significant portion of what I made.
So you see here that savings, for him to be able to even get into real estate, it had to do with him, saving a lot of his money. So when you start out early and you're making good money, try as much as possible to save. Once you save, try to get into investments. Like I always tell people, invest in anything, maybe property, stocks, crypto, whatever it is. Invest. Whenever you invest, you actually make more money than just keeping it in the bank. Most times inflation takes over and you probably might even be getting lesser than what you deposited in the bank. I'm not saying you should not put money in the bank. Definitely we are going to have savings, emergency fund, but try to invest major part of your money, because that is actually how you build wealth. So you can see here that he was living with his brother. I always try to let people know that if you are not yet ready to move out of your parents' apartment, living alone is expensive. Try as much as possible to save that money to live with someone until until you think you've saved enough to move out and get your own house. Do not be in so much hurry to actually leave your parents' house just because, so you can save money in paying rent, paying bills, and all of that.
It was a little to no cost investment to experiment with.
So if you want to get into real estate, you can see here that from 18, I think you can, and it doesn't actually require much. I think you just need to take the course, write the exam, and then you get the license. I'm not saying that everybody must be a real estate developer, but if it's something that a real estate agent, but if it's something that you're interested in, I'm just trying to let you know that it's not very far-fetched.
The idea of being a real estate agent. And so I worked on getting my license simultaneous to all the other things that I was working on, primarily getting into Berkeley. When I got into real estate, I just wanted to graduate and get it done with, and then just focus as much as I could on learning about real estate.
Impressive. Impressive. But then I also want to let you know that do not let anybody put any pressure on you. There's something you need to know, that most times the environment we grow up in actually determines how far we can go in life, which is really true. The where your the family background. I'm not saying that they will stop you, but they actually can take you far or drag you back in life. There are some people that grew up in an environment where they have very educated people that can direct them. While there are some people that grew up in an environment where they are probably the first people that went to school. It will take those people a lot longer time and stress and hard work as compared to someone who is coming from an affluent home.
My brother and I own 5 properties now in close proximity to
Move with
Berkeley
people that
campus. We
have the
bought
same
half
goals
of our
as you
portfolio
are.
last year.
You're an average of the 5 people you surround yourself with.
More than half of our portfolio just in 1 year. Doing
Wow.
all this while working as an executive assistant, it does give me a little more enjoyment because of the control.
I'm actually
I'm
very
not
impressed.
told what to do or anything, and so part of that is definitely better. Sometimes I could wipe out entirely what I made in a month, but generally I like to save more than half of what I make in a month. More if possible, but sometimes, expenses that come with property ownership, it's sometimes can be very unpredictable, and I have no control over that. And so sometimes if I have to replace an unexpected leaking pipe or old roof or something, for the most part I have anticipated expenses for property maintenance, but oftentimes there are unpredictable expenses. The way that I've handled my taxes year over year has changed dramatically just because the amount that I've made has changed. I created an LLC just so I could have some tax liability. I really don't know as much as my CPA. I like sort of am hands off.
So I just wanted to also let you know, you can see here where he was talking about some of the challenges he faces. So it's just to let you also know that it's not everything that is rosy, but then we don't let it stop us from what the bigger picture is. I know that in different fields you're probably going to experience lots of challenges. You're going to, see things that would probably want to make you give up. But this is just to let you know that it's not all rosy. Just keep forging on. I know when I'm saying this is also something that I need to let myself know. This is something that I also want to hear. That is why I enjoy watching videos like this, to tell myself that someone else has done it. It means it's achievable and you can do it. I'm really rooting for everybody. I really, really, really hope and pray that you watching this video, you eventually get to where you want to be, that dream you have, that whatever it is you want to achieve, I hope it works out the best for you.
Golf is a big escape for me. When I have time, I'm able to get out there and play some golf.
So you can see here having things that relieve your stress. So some people are probably maybe just focused on work, 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 work. I can be like that sometimes. I sometimes forget that you can take breaks and play, which is very important to avoid burnouts. So I also want to let you know that do not just be 100% focused on work, because work is just a part of life, it's not your entire life. So whenever you work, always remember to have fun. Always remember to take some time for yourself to rest, because the work will always be there, but you need to be very healthy to be able to actually make massive progress. So this is it for this video, guys. I hope it was very entertaining, and I hope it was also very motivating for you. He is 25 and he's killing it. It means that I can also achieve whatever dreams and goal that I have. And I also hope that you watching this as well, no matter what age you are, you're not giving up. You're going to make it. Just keep being focused, and I know that things will fall. But as they say, lines will fall in pleasant places for you. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for myself, and I hope that we all make the best out of this life. Thank you so much for watching this episode with me as well. And let me also know what other videos you would want to see. If you have videos like this that you want me to react to, just leave it in the comment section and I'll do that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. And do not forget to like and subscribe to help my channel grow. Thank you so much, and bye.